Alright guys, so yesterday we learned a lot about this offense and things are changing. Starting off right away, it looks like Jackson Carmen will be left tackle backup for Orlando Brown and no longer competing for the right tackle position against Jonah Williams. It really isn't that surprising slash that big of a deal. Last year in the playoffs, Jackson Carmen looked really good at left tackle, and that probably is a position he's just better at playing at, right? So there's no real reason, to push him and make him do right tackle if it's just not working out for him. And so far in training camp preseason, he's been horrendous at right tackle. So honestly, I'm happy about this because it's the best case scenario for him, and it keeps him on the team and lets him be able to do what he can do best. But Al Collins is another reason why this might be happening. Because yesterday he went through a full workout on the Bengals practice field, which is absolutely awesome because that means he is not 1000% come back by week 1. He's probably going to start the season off on the pup list, which means he misses at least 4 to 6 games. But at least this means that he is going to be back this season sometime early in the season. Maybe right after the pup list, he'll be right back. So with that being said, yes, he looked strong and quick yesterday as he went through the most intense workout during a practice. Obviously, since tearing his ACL on Christmas Eve, it was a reminder that the veteran's working to get back. While a return by the start of the season may be unlikely, he's hoping to make an impact this season. This is what he had to say. Anytime I'm able to get some good speed off the edge, a good look, it's always great. Just to be able to get that time and get that rhythm, Colin said. Every day I come in, I'm doing a little bit more and I feel better. I get a little bit stronger. Now, during the draft process, actually, he did actually come out and say that he felt like he could go out and play that day if he had a brace on his knee. And he felt like he was at that point where, he wasn't ready to come back, but he was getting to that point. Now, obviously, that is a little bit of the, hey, listen, I want to talk my talk so that you don't go draft the right tackle. And also, I want the fans to get excited because it's the draft and I want everyone to be happy. So it's a little bit of that too, right? It's not 1000%, him trying to mislead anyone. It's really just, hey, listen, I'm back. So it's awesome. Love to see that. As it says right here, though, there is a decent chance Collins starts the season off on the pup list, which means he'd miss at least 4 games. Now, keep in mind, he has made it very clear he is looking to become the starting right tackle for this team again. So that does mean he's going to be competing against none other than Jonah Williams to get that right tackle position. And I'll be honest with you, and this is kind of funny to say this, but Jonah has been playing very good at right tackle throughout training camp and the preseason. So, what was at one point when, I made a video a couple months ago talking about, when Jonah is going to be right tackle, but once Collins comes back, it's Collins' job. I don't know if I agree with my statement from back then. I'm not kidding. You watch Jonah, and Jonah's really taking this serious. Obviously, he should. But, he got in mind, he's on the contract year. He's trying to get paid. If he doesn't get paid this year by the Bengals, he wants to get paid by somebody. Or else, guess what? His career is over, right? And his track record throughout the last 3 years, there's not many people lined up saying, we want Jonah Williams, right? So this is his real chance to go out there and put up the best numbers humanly possible so he can get a contract somewhere or get a contract with us again. So that even spells more volumes to Collins. Well, yes, I would love to see him back and love to see him out there. Jonah's not going down without a fight. And I think Jonah has made a statement that with his play so far, it is not Collins' job if he comes back. So, and again, Collins understands that. Collins said he's a competitor and he wants to, he wants to win the job back. So, it's going to be interesting to see when he comes back if, what's going to end up happening. But this is what the article said. That would give him even more time to recover. He had surgery in January, so it's just over 7 months ago. Which young offensive lineman could emerge as a swing tackle behind Orlando Brown and Jonah Williams. Jackson Carmen entered camp hoping to win the starting right tackle job. But that didn't work out, and he could line up at left tackle he lined up as left tackle during Sunday's session. Will Devonta Smith stellar play continue as he makes a push not only to make the roster but to be the first offensive tackle off the bench? Hakeem is also in the mix. He started 15 games last season. He started 15 regular season games in 3 seasons with the Bengals, and was absolutely freaking awful in that AFC Championship game. Carmen appeared to be the favorite for the swing tackle spot coming into camp, especially with the way he finished last season. But now it's more of a toss-up. Hakeem has the most experience, and Smith has arguably had the best camp of the trio. Veteran Cody Ford could be in the running for the backup right tackle spot. The Bengals have their starting offensive line locked in, but the coach staff was likely face some tough decisions on cut down day. Now keep in mind, they don't have to cut down anyone until August 28th. So pretty much how this works is some teams will cut down players before August 28th, right? Kind of get a more generalized look at the roster. But they technically do not have to make any cuts until August 28th. So they could go until August 27th with 90-man roster. And on August 28th, they could bring in, 30 players and say, yup, you're cut. Usually they do it before that because, kind of a lot of players to bring in the last day and then say, okay, you guys going. But they could possibly do that. Now, teams have done that in the past because, again, you might have a lot of guys that you're kind of back and forth on, right? And you're like, oh, I kind of like this guy. I kind of like this guy. I don't know if I want to cut this guy. This guy's so good, but this guy, like, you're going back and forth. And throughout the coaching staff, Duke Tobin, Zach Taylor, etc., like Katie Blackburn, they're all going to have guys that they like, right? And that's what Coach said before. The best part about the Bengals and the coaching staff is no one agrees on one thing. Like, I say no one agrees. Everyone has their own opinions, he said. He said this during the draft process. He said that, people come in with their list, this list, this list, this list. And he was saying how amazing it is because you get different perspectives, right? You don't have one person says, not everyone's going to sit there and say, oh, yes, I love what Coach said. Coach is amazing, and I agree 1,000% with Coach, because then you don't get anything done, right? You're not, progressing as a team when everyone's sitting there saying, yes, man, yes, man, yes, man. It's not helping anyone. All you're doing there is sitting there and, wasting your time, because now you're not going to have the best team possible. Instead, you might go in there and say, okay, so we're going to cut Donta Smith. This is just an example, by the way. We're not going to cut him. But example, right? And then Katie Blackburn might say, ooh, no. I actually like him for this said reasons, right? Coach goes, I didn't think about those reasons. That's actually a good point. And now he's looking at those reasons. But then Duke Tobin might come in and say, well, what about these reasons? And then they might look at it and say, ooh, you're right. Those reasons are bad. So again, like I said, it's just different ideas. This is how you have actual, this is how you get things done, and it's not just chaos. So I love it. Guys, tell me down below your thoughts and opinions. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.